Hello everybody, and welcome to your Kuang jungle guide. Now, Kuang would not be my first recommendation for your junglers. Assassins are really good right now, so I would definitely lean into the assassins. But if you have to play a magic damage dealer in the jungle, then Kuang might be able to do the trick if for whatever reason you have like a hunter middle or something and you can't get like a guardian solo or something to that extent to help you out. But if you want to help me out, make sure you hit that like button and comment down below, and make sure you subscribe to the Twitchiest community and ring that bell for notifications so you never miss a god guide. Now, starting off, we're going to be grabbing the Eye of the Jungle, and we're going to be grabbing our tier 1 going into those magical power and penetration items, and we're also going to be starting off with our Wild Storm. This is also the ability that we are going to be maxing out first. Good, consistent jungle clear, and also going to be very good damage against players as well, especially because we're going to be going a little bit more power forward than you're probably used to seeing Kuang builds. The days of like the full auto attacker style of build is kind of over. They're not that good anymore. Most of the rings have had a lot of efficiency taken from them, and a lot of extra pressure has been put onto these flat pen items. They're just so strong, it's really hard to get away from them in the early game. So we will be going into that first. We will be trying to take ourselves into either Spear of Desolation or Spear of the Magus. Both are going to be fine this game. We don't need anti-heal, so we don't have to worry about the Divine Ruin, which is nice. For our second level, we grabbed ourselves our Getaway skill. Pretty much always get your Getaway skill second in Smite. If for some reason you felt like there was huge kill potential, maybe you can get away with grabbing your 2 second in the mid lane if you feel like you're going to be able to run right in and try to grab yourself a quick kill. I'm actually going to be something kind of cheeky here. I'm just going to wait over in the jungle. I'm going to grab this level 3, and then I'm going to try to go for a quick kill onto the Mulan. Mulan doesn't actually have any escapes before she has level 5, although it does look like my Chalk is going to be having a hard time over there. Hopefully we can grab this kill before our Chalk goes down. We are going to be able to grab ourselves a little bit of bonus gold. So for the official level order on Kuang, he is one of those weird gods. You don't actually level the ulti on him more than once. Exact same concept as Achilles. The ultimate is an execute, so you're mostly trying to use it for that execute capability. Now, Kuang's ultimate does have better effects on it to level than the Achilles ult does, so it's not exactly apples to apples. You do get some other nice benefits, but for the most part, you are not going to level it before you level your 3 and your 2. So the level order for Kuang traditionally going to be 3 to max, 2 to max, then 4, then 1. It's kind of a weird combo because, like I said, you do get some nice effects out of the Kuang ult, but not better than having your 3 and your 2. So that is going to be 3, 2, 4, 1 on that leveling order on Kuang, which is pretty weird for Smite. Trying to look over here in the duo lane, but it does look like they have this warded. Maybe I can go take a quick gander at their purple buff if that is still up. It is still up. And if they come over to me, I will get that level 5, and so I can go for the execute. This will kind of segue really nicely into talking about some of these god matchups on the Kuang, because we're going to be running right into a Geb. Oh, that is so unfortunate that he just got the 5 right there. And Geb Oh my goodness. Holy, meditation is still up in the duo lane, Batman. That is so unfortunate that it didn't force the meditation that he had gotten the level 5 off of both those kills. But the Gab is kind of a nightmare target for you to go against. And the reason is Ao Kuang execute can be immune. And by that, I mean Ao Kuang ultimate has 2 distinctive parts. The initial grab, and then the execute. And you can be cleansed out of the actual grab part, thus never leading to the execute. So a Hell Cleanse, a Gab Cleanse, a well-timed Capriol for the immunity, all of this can stop you from executing. Another example in this game is actually the Kali. Kali ulties, I ulti her, doesn't matter, she can't die, she can be executed in her ultimate. So those are all gonna be good counters against the Ao Kuang, because Ao Kuang is very reliant on that ultimate. Not only is an execute obviously good for grabbing kills, but it is also traditionally his way out of the fight. So we're going to grab ourselves a Spear of the Magus here, and then we can start working ourselves into a Ring of Hecate. This is going to give us a good amount of lifesteal early, but also giving that much needed flat pen and bonus damage for the Ao Kuang, so we can try to burn down his targets faster. So you gotta be watching out for those cleanses. They will wreck you on Kuang. Another thing you need to watch out for, Kali's another good example, is bleeds in general. Kali has a bleed with her too, but also the item Crusher. Just a really good item against Kuang. Basically makes it so your stealth is useless. And obviously your stealth being useless is a big problem. So right there you can see if that would have been anybody but a Kali, she dies right there, but because it's Kali, she goes into her ultimate and she does manage to stay alive. Holy body blocks, Batman.
You shall be no more.
This Yanis will simply not leave me alone, but we're going to be able to turn around and grab a couple of kills right here. Getting a couple of kills in the Ao Kuang early is going to be very beneficial for us moving into the mid stages of the game. Ao Kuang, very, very late game focused character. Another reason why he tends to struggle right now. Smite is in a mid/early game meta. A lot of priority being put on lane clear, a lot of priority put on, how did that not pick up the flower Smite? Jeez Louise. A lot of priority being put on being able to fight level 1, 2, 3, 4. Those early game rotations, put people behind early, start invading their jungle, etc. Really not where Kuang thrives. Kuang likes to go into the late game. He likes to play kind of like the Morrigan, where you just look around for some quick targets to pick off, slam jam them right into the floor, and then have a nice 5v4 as a team. That's kind of where he thrives.
This weapon shall crush our enemy.
So being able to get a couple of kills going in the early game so you don't fall behind, very nice. Kali on that same front, also very late game focus, which means they're not able to abuse the weaknesses that Ao Kuang has in the early game nearly as efficiently as they would be if they had something like a Robin or just a generically better early game jungler. Gonna throw down a sentry ward on this Gold Fury. Preferably the targets that I'm going to fight. The Geb wouldn't be around. If the Geb is around, they're just gonna cleanse and I'm gonna have a bad time. For the guys that we like to have on our team as Ao Kuang, funny enough, it's kind of similar to what we don't want to play against. We like to have somebody that can help keep us alive, so cleanses do really well for us, having a Kepri or a Geb on your team, something that can help peel for you, because you do end up having to go in on Ao Kuang with your either Blink, if you're going to get Blink as an active, or you have to go in via your stealth. And if you go in via your stealth, you have used your getaway skill, and so that is just kind of that for you if you get caught out at that point. So you need to be very careful about what method of actually going into the fight that you are going to be utilizing on the outplay. Holy bajolies. That was a lot of damage from that Mulan. This is a little bit greedy of me to go for this purple buff. But I got my whole team right there. They're probably not going to kill me. One thing Kuang does well. Kuang does really well against objectives. Not quite as good as like a Mercury would do, but he can burn the objectives very quickly, especially if your team has a Frenzy. Lord knows the Gold Fury, the Fire Giant, do not stand a chance. Now, Kuang kind of sucks fighting the Phoenixes until you get a Poly online, which is kind of an optional item on the Kuang, but it makes a lot more sense nowadays than it used to, because we are going to be leaning into more power, less pure attack speed. The more power you have, of course, the more efficient that Polynomicon is going to be. And a lot of that is because of the new Rod Up Tahuti. Rod Up Tahuti allowing you to upgrade into that Nimble Rod, which gives you a bunch of attack speed based off of all of your power. So you want to build a bunch of power, because building a bunch of power also gives you attack speed. So then you kind of get the scaling on top of the attack speed and ends up being the best of both worlds. Gonna grab Blink as our second relic, like we talked about earlier. Now we can use our Blink to go in and initiate these fights, and then we can use our Stealth to get ourselves out of harm's way, instead of having to use our Stealth to go into the fight, and then our only way out is gonna be using our ultimate. As far as your standard combination on Kuang, oftentimes you're gonna go in with your with your Blink, which means you're gonna blink and you're just immediately gonna start hitting the enemy with your 3. You want to preemptively have your 2 channeled before then, and it's gonna be the same thing in Stealth. You can pop your 2 while in Stealth. It will not take you out of it, and you do want to pop it a little bit away from the enemy if you can. Because if you can pop it a little bit away from the enemy, they won't know that you're there. It does make a fairly loud sound effect. So if you pop it too close to them, they will know that you're there. Now, because Geb is low HP, he cannot shield himself, so I am going to make him my target, and then I'm going to dive in the back line for this Yanis. See if I can't snag a quick little hit on him, and then I'm going to immediately start running and going through the enemy jungle. So now that I've got the 3 and the 2 leveled up, I'm going to start leveling up that ultimate to start getting some of those tertiary effects, like landing damage, that are still nice, just not better than having your traditional damage combo up. Kuang's Stealth is also loud. Listen to the sound effect. Pretty dang loud, right? So you do have to be careful about what location you're actually stealthing from. And then, of course, like we said earlier with the 2, you press your 2. Really loud sound effect. People will hear that coming, so you need to make sure you're using it far enough away in the jungle that the enemy won't hear you coming. Otherwise, your stealthy gank won't be so stealthy at all. So you do need to be careful about that. Another little tidbit, another little trick for you on the Kuang. Your ultimate does not have to be used as an execute. It actually does have 2 other uses outside of the execute. One, it is a fantastic setup ability. Say somebody is out of position and your team needs an extra second to get ready, or say you have a big follow-up damage ultimate in the mid lane like a Rot. You can use your ultimate as basically an elongated banish, and then they have an easy follow-up to snipe the target right after, or to catch up and get in range. So you can use it as a setup tool, and you can also use it as a peel tool. For yourself, you're getting chased down, ulti them, they get yeeted into the air, now you put some room between them and you. Or to peel for a teammate, say my Agni is getting dove in the back line, we're not going to be able to kill him fast enough, get him in that kill threshold. Well, I can just ulti right away, force them to either beads, and if they don't have their beads up, then we go ahead and get our Agni out of harm's way. I need to be quite careful here, because I am very low. We're not going to be able to burn that gold very fast enough. They do know we are. I'm popping my 2 and my 1 as I start heading towards that Medusa, and I'm going to start burning him down immediately with the auto attacks. Turn away from the Medusa ult. Bada bing, bada boom. You can see the Medusa had no idea that I was on my way, because I had popped my stealth and my 2 so far away from me. Now I am going to throw down my ultimate right here onto this Geb to try to peel for my Woojer, try to help him get away, not using it as that execute. And then I'm going to try to use my 1 to get in front of the Geb, stop his rollout, and hopefully I can start to make my way a little bit away, although I can continue this fight because I'm still pretty healthy. I hear Yanis back over towards the mid lane. I still have my blink up, so I'm going to go right towards him. Hit him with a little combo right there. He's actually running directly into Chalk. He might be in range of my 2. No, just not quite going to be in range of that 2. Wow, that is an unfortunate portal, but we did force his beats. Another little micro thing that you need to be paying attention to on our Kuang. Your 1 goes on cooldown. Watch. Your 1 goes on cooldown when you pop it. When you pop it, not when you use it. So if you want to get that cooldown back up as fast as possible, you have to pop it. So if you're using it to run away and you're trying to stay in stealth, obviously you don't want to pop it because then it takes you out of stealth. But if you're just trying to use it for quick movement, if you get taken out of stealth anyway or whatever, then make sure you quickly hit it again. So that way you can start getting the cooldown back up so you can utilize it for a future getaway. Does not start the cooldown until you pop it that second time on the clone.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Meager beast, you shall fall.
As for our job on the outplay, our job is always going to be to look for the most unsuspecting,
Another step to completing my
high damaging god that they have in the backline and looking for a quick kill. So this game, my main target priorities are going to be Janice and Medusa. It's basically my job to kill them. I'm gonna go ahead and pop stealth, pop my 2, and just kind of sit here right in the mid lane, see if there's a Yanis around. He was over actually by his red buff. I know he doesn't have beads up because he had already used them. I'm gonna have to ulti on this Kali to try to get myself a little bit out of here, but I might die anyway for that. Kind of unfortunate timing on that Kali who was over by her speed buff. We didn't land the sash either on the Pianus with no beads. He got away too fast. Now for our next item, we are going to start working on that Polynomicon. Polynomicon, as always, gives us that little bit of damage after our ability. We should be able to start off the fight with the Polynomicon because we're traditionally either blinking in with our 2 ready or we're stealthing in. Either way, we've already popped an ability, so our very first auto attack is going to have that Polycon on it. Give us just a little bit of extra burst. I'll try to burn down those targets faster. The faster we can burn down those targets, the faster we can try to ulti them and get out of there. We are not very tanky. We're going to die quite quickly. And also, our immunities that we have are very limited. Not, this ain't no Robin with a CC immune ulti and a CC immune kick and this and that and the other. We basically got our actives and we got our prayers.
You cannot hide from me.
I'm gonna sit right here at the edge of this tower line for a couple of seconds, see if Dennis, I know he has his portal down because I just saw him use it. Unfortunately, once again, Kali coincidentally happens to also be exactly at their tier 1 tower in middle. So we do get the Yanis, but we do go down for our troubles. And I am going to go back up and I'm going to level up my nimble rod in order to get that bonus attack speed. This does cap at 20 seconds. So that means you can get 40% attack speed from this item, which is really, really strong. You can see I'm already basically halfway there. So now on top of Right Out to Hootie giving me all this power and all this bonus damage, it's also giving me 20% attack speed, which makes it by far the best auto attack item for magical damage dealers, which is kind of funny.
I got your back, brother. Okay.
He's kind of funny, but it's true. Next up, we're gonna work on that Polynomicon, and then we're gonna wrap up this build with a Typhon's Fang. You'll see that 3 out of 4 of our items up to this point are gonna have lifesteal on them. Typhon's Fang gonna give us a bunch of power, a bunch more lifesteal, and all of that lifesteal is the way that we stay alive on Ao Kuang. We don't get tanky, we get life stealy. Now, chances are they're gonna have some anti-heal themselves, because like we've got a shock and stuff, and like Divine Ruin's just a generically great item. But regardless, doesn't really change our build that much on the Ao Kuang.
Bye.
Don't want to walk into that little circle. Reminder that the obelisk is in fact a giant ward. This is awkward. He grabbed his CC immunity right when I was about to go in for the ult. I might die off of this. Oh my soul gem proc, my man. Shout out to the Agni soul gem proc, my friend. When's the last time a soul gem proc helped to keep you alive? Quite a while. All right, so this Mulan is really not having any of my funny business. She does not care at all about my damage. So I'm on Operation Stick Away from Mulan. Go find the Yanis. He's a super easy kill target for me. The Medusa is a super easy kill target. The Kali is unfortunately gonna be able to stick on me and pretty much kill me before I can kill her, because she's gonna get that ulti off and I can't stay alive versus Kali for 5 seconds while she's spinning around as a blender roleplay. Speeds are up in a couple of seconds, so we'll be able to play a little bit more aggressive after that. Looks like they do have a couple of people coming our direction-ish. Chalk's about to get picked off. I have a feeling there's going to be a Janice around here, but they do have this warded, so I got to be very careful with that. I'm going to pop my 2 because it does last for 10 seconds. Then start stealthing my way into the mid lane. Looks like there's going to be a Geb by himself. I don't mind getting me a nice pick off on a Geb, honestly. But once again, Mulan gonna come save the day. That seems to be a theme of this match right now. Want to go for a quick blinkle on the Geb so he cannot get himself out of there. And then I'm actually gonna go land on the Medusa on the back line, see if I can't force her out. My team should be able to deal with this Mulan. Looks like I'm gonna have to come over and help. That should be all right. Gonna pop my beads right there. Oh my flippin' lifesteal that, man. That Medusa almost saved Mulan's life, but not quite enough.
Be careful.
We should be able to go sustain up in the jungle also pretty well. Kali is chasing my Uller. Dang, that was her target, so she's gonna full heal off of that. I need to back up, grab a Poly, and grab a Sentry Ward so I can get back out over towards the Gold Fury. I imagine that's where they're gonna go, but they could go Pyro as well, but now I'm Kali's target. That sucks. Now, the question of the day is, are they going to go for Big Fire? 'Cause I don't think they are. I think Janice probably went for his red buff, actually, and didn't even go over there. He did go for his red buff. I hears him. He actually might have known that I was here. They might have had that warded. I'm about to go ward the Gold Fury. We do need to get wards over on the Fire Giant as well. Do a little Dude
are active.
Grab the Oreos and put down the wards.
Shall be no more.
Oh, I gotta be very careful off of that. That's an entire team right next to me that I didn't even see.
On my way.
And I do not have my beads up. They don't seemingly care that we have the Oreos. We do know that they're there, though. Time for me to start coming around the back on this. Good play from the Nezar right there. Quickly gonna try to execute the Geb so he can't get the Geb shields off in the fight. I do see a Kali back here, so I'm gonna try to land on him and go for the quick kill. Gonna be able to grab that as well. Don't look at Medusa while she is ulting me, but I'm gonna take a lot of damage. I'm gonna try to heal off some creeps. Then I'm gonna try to bait myself back into the corner because why would I be back over here in this corner? And we will be able to barely live there. I'm gonna call for an attack fire giant as well. If we can get over that fire giant, that would be huge. Gonna grab myself that protector of the jungle because this gives me a bunch of power, a bunch of attack speed. It's my personal favorite. The other one is good. The seer of the jungle isn't bad, but the protector of the jungle, man, while you're in the jungle, it's like the best item in the game right now if you can get it going. Good item outside of the jungle. Gnarly item inside of the jungle. And 15 stacks on our Rod of Tahuti. Mulan is not over here. I'm actually going to start this up. I should be able to tank it pretty well with all of my lifesteal. Without Mulan being here, it means only Yanis and Geb can be here. So they could go for the random steal. But we burnt it down, believe it or not, really quickly. Because as aforementioned, Kuang, really good at burning objectives.
Meager beast, you shall fall.
Pop a little 2-1 combo, just kind of roam through the jungle. Very similar to the Morrigan gameplay where we're just looking for like a quick pick. See if we can't find somebody standing out of position. Kali is behind us. She's being CC'd like crazy. Trying to wait for his ultimate to run out. And I'm gonna be able to go over the wall and hit him with that ulti. Interesting try on the Nezha ulti right there. At this point, we should just go attack middle lane. Wow. Unfortunate that we lost our Uller for sure, but... Yanis is just going to run us around if we let him. And we're never going to catch him, so...
Middle tower. Help!
We're going to need to just go ahead and shove. Use those poly procs for some bonus damage on the towers. Our tower damage is okay because we do have the poly procs going. Now this is a very difficult fight for us to get in. Gonna be coming right over the wall here for this Yanis. Gonna utilize that polyproc and do some burst damage. You can see, not a super heavy auto attack style of build, because we really don't have to wait to get all these autos in. We just go for that big burst damage. Once again, pop a little 2, pop a little 1, come into this fight. No idea why she did not get grabbed on that wall. That seemed like a classic Mulan issue. And we're just kind of sticking around, continuing to look for these engagements. Kali wants this Agni so bad. Great stun right there. I'm going to start heading down towards actually the Medusa. That's a beat down on Medusa. Geb didn't have shield, but I will be able to go ahead and execute him. I'm going to call for the attack. I'm going to go land on the Medusa. Should be able to follow for the 3, but he had his dash back up. And now we can attack right lane because we do have a bunch of creeps over here. Still got Fire Giant on us for about a minute and a half. Throw out a little 3 to get our polyprog going. Start working down on this Phoenix. Now this is kind of an aggressive play there from the little Yanis man coming out. Pretty aggressive play from me as well. I'm actually going to get a lot of anti-heal on me. Not exactly sure what put so much anti-heal on me. I didn't heal nothing off that Medusa. Looks like I just got hit by the acid spray, and the acid spray by itself was enough. I thought maybe she had a toxic blade on top of that acid spray. Shout outs to just good old-fashioned Medusa acid spray right there being enough by itself. But now we get ourselves the Typhon's Fang. Now just the acid spray won't be enough because we just got a bajillion lifesteal. You can actually go see in our build right now we've got 54% on that magical lifesteal number with this. And that doesn't actually include some of this bonus action that we're getting, because if you add this up, that's going to be 15, that's going to be 27, that's going to be, oh god, 49, 50, you know, the number. You know, the number of 54. So then you have to factor then that you're getting 25% increase on top of that. So it's even more. It's even better. It's more effective. 54, 25%. It's like you got, I don't know, quick math. I'm trying to do a guide. I'm not a math teacher. 67% lifesteal, give or take. Something like that. I ain't got time to whip out the calculator. I'm sure somebody will do the quick math on it. All right, now we're just trying to grab these objectives. We do have the pressure around the map. I've got 16 stacks on my Rod of Tahuti, and when I get things like a fire giant buff, like a red pot, all that, we can get it up even higher. I gotta be careful here because I actually do feel like I'm getting baited.
On my way.
You cannot hide from me.
But I want to try to bait them back. Do a little reverse bait. That is Medusa's dash.
The fight of my blade.
I've got your
We've
back.
got so many people so low. I can't let the collie blink right on top of me, otherwise I'm in trouble. Great pressure onto the collie right there. That's obviously his target. But we'll be able to grab a quick snag. I'm gonna stealth myself over towards the right side a little bit.
Another
Try to
patient
come up
has
behind some of these guys.
lost. Curses.
Yanis is kind of out in the open, but
Be careful.
that's gonna be hard to capitalize on. They got too many people there.
An ally has been slain.
Now we play the chillax game because they could very well go for the fire giant. So we want to keep ourselves around the fire giant, but we want them to have to start it. Mulan actually back. Now we get cheeky. We walk at them from the back. We go straight for the Medusa, so hopefully they can't grab themselves. A fire giant.
Come get some.
Gab shield down. Boom. Grab the Gab. Go for the Yanis in the back. Bam. Hit him with a little polyprog in action. Try to hit him with a 2. Miss the 2 because Yanis is so fast. Continue to dive towards the Yanis. Kill him from stealth. He doesn't see you coming. Kuang.
You're on fire.
Attack fire giant.
And now you call the attack fire giant, and your team goes for the fire giant. So, pretty common mistake that players make in the ultra late game around fire giants specifically. I've actually talked about it quite a few times today in the STL. A lot of times, people will just sit around and they'll try to go for the fire giant steal, even if they're on a character that's not a good fire giant stealer. I'm an Kuang. I'm great at burning objectives. I'm not great at stealing objectives. What am I good at? I'm good at killing people in the late game. So instead of waiting around and trying to go for an objective steal, I get involved, go for a kill, try to kill the person who's most likely to be burning the objective, in this case, their Medusa. Even if I die, as long as the Medusa dies, they are not able to get the fire giant anymore. Much better trade for us. That is going to be a dead Yanis. Oh, unfortunately, it is also going to be a dead me because of a Medusa. Oh, unflippin' fortunate. Now, we do got to be a little bit careful here. Or it looks like our Uller is going to be able to get out of this one. Good Medusa ult, barely hitting me on the side. But we got a lot of cash to spend. Grabbing temporal beads, 3 seconds off your cooldowns. Our abilities one-shot people, 3 seconds. Our ability might be back up. That's another one-shot. That's good. Gonna grab myself a 3K pot instead of ranking up the blink. Blink upgrades are fine. Nothing wrong, particularly with the corrupted blink to stay next to the target. But I would so much rather have myself
Diabolisks
a
are
3K pot to add to that burn damage. Gameplay stays the same in terms of what we are trying to accomplish. Just trying to one-shot somebody in the back line, immediately make the fight a 5v4, ulti to get out if I can. Wouldn't mind 100 more gold either in order to get a red pot on top of all of this.
Gold Fury.
Great minds think alike.
One can never be too prepared.
Fantastic. Do a little Gold Fury, attack the left lane, bada bing, bada boom. We have to be a little bit careful on these Phoenix Assaults. Kuang, not the best on Phoenix Assaults because, of course, being around that Phoenix reveals you from stealth. That is a problem. So you have to be very tricksy hobbitses around these fire giant, excuse me, around these Phoenix fights, especially if you do not have the fire giant buff on you. Whoa! Okay. Whoa! Kali used a lot of action. A lot of action on that one.
Attack left lane.
Gonna call for the attack left lane again. Pop roll 2-1. See if I can't find a quick pick over here. I see Yanis over towards the mid lane. I'm gonna go for it. I do force the Yanis to use his blink. We force a quick Magi's. A Gabble. We're forcing a lot right now. Trying to get my way back into this Gab. If we stun him, we got the pick on Kali. We're gonna be able to get the kill on Gab. And we might just be able to put this game away. Just like that.
Attack the left Phoenix.
Mm-hmm. Bada bing, bada boom.
Your team has destroyed a left enemy Phoenix.
Oh my god, the Medusa ults at the end of the game have been stellar. Luckily, there wasn't a Yanis ult to immediately follow it up with, otherwise that would have been a super bummer. Now we do need to actually hit the Titan. They have a lot of damage. This is a little bit awkward. Once again, I could destroy the Titan. Here we go. Got my 2-pop. Now I just get to run up and kill the Titan immediately. Had to be careful there at the end because I get one-shot by both the Yanis and that Duso, the battle of the one-shots. So on Kuang, early game, you're going to have to farm a little bit harder than other guys. You don't have a great early game fight. Right around level 9, you start to come online. That's when you can start to box. But if you do happen to get a couple of early kills, it'll really help smooth out that early to mid game so you can get to the late game where you really start to thrive on that Kuang. Make sure you're stealthing and popping your 2 as far away from the enemy team as you can. You do have quite a few seconds in stealth in order to get towards your target, but you don't want them to hear those audio effects, guys. And that's how you go 22-5 in the jungle and Kuang in Season 9. Don't forget, of course, to like, comment, and subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications to help support the Twitchiest. Thank you for supporting the Twitchiest community. If you'd like to see more videos, make sure you subscribe to the channel and always hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any of the upcoming videos. Thank you for all your support and have a Twitchin' day, y'all.